What's going on, YouTubers, gamers and hobbyists? Welcome to this week's episode of P&Q, the question and answer series where you get to ask me questions or put comments to me and then I respond to you the following week. Now you can do this one of 5 ways. You can put your comments or questions down below in the comments section, which is the most common way. Or you can email me for an anonymous response at miniwarzone@gmail.com. There will be a link in the video description below, or if you make a video yourself and ask a question or raise a topic on that and I see it and wish to do so, I will answer that here or address it here. Or if we meet in person, you can ask me a question there. Obviously I'll answer you at the time, but if it's quite an interesting topic, then I'll address that here as well. Or there's always social media, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram at the time of recording this. So I'm actually recording this late on Sunday. Now, the reason I've mentioned that is because I was trialing recording these at the weekend. I always used to record these on Fridays, and to be honest, it's going to be easier for me if I go back to recording these on a Friday and then uploading them ready for Monday. That's how I'm going to have to do it, because weekends just seem to be too incredibly stupidly busy for me to do anything else. So fair warning, I will be recording these on Friday in future. Right, I have 2 video questions and an email and then the comments from last week. So I'm going to start with the video questions. The first one comes from Kuja and Kiwi on the Hyra Hobby Sunday series. It says, if you could choose to be anything in your army, what unit type would you be and why? Well, obviously I'd be a character and Sly Marvo because he's solid as nails. Or, you know, his younger brother, because that would be cool. Hey, I'll get my brother Sly on you. Or his older brother, although that would seem a bit weird. Hey, I'll get my younger brother on you. Yeah, Sly Marvo, because he's awesome. And I'm going to paint him up sometime soon, I hope. Right, next video question comes from IdicBeer40k, who asks on his monthly Q&A series, what is your favourite size paintbrush to use when you paint your models? That's a good question. I suppose size-wise it would be 0 or 00, which probably equates to the army painter brushes, the character brush size and detail brush size. I do like the I have, you know, zeros. I even have quadruple zeros size paintbrushes. I think I've even got a 5, a 0 one, which is stupidly insane. You're talking like, let's put the highlights on the highlights on the highlights. But my most commonly go-to brush I use is the Army Painter detail brush and character brush. I do like the Army Painter brushes. I just like them. So they are my favourite. Right, I have an email. It says, hi Pete, I am wondering how you are faring down in Plymouth with the snow. I am from Exeter, which is being hit pretty hard, pretty bad at the moment, and was wondering how it was with you. What problems, if any, are you experiencing with it? Well, this was sent to me a couple of days ago, so I'm hoping it's all clear up your end now. It's certainly clear here now. The snow is gone, though we did get hit pretty bad down here with the snow. I have to say, we got, it was like a blizzard here one day, whatever day it was, like a snowstorm. And I walked up to the shop and back again. And it was really snow hard. It was hammering in my face because the strong winds up where I live, because I live up high, was really blowing the snow about like there's, you know, like nobody's business, and it was hurting my face, really hurting my face. And we, as Plymouth, because like Exeter was, the road to Exeter was kind of like, the motorway was all shut off and closed off. And people were trapped there, weren't they, for hours on end. And even one of the trains people were stuck there for about 19 hours, I believe, or 16 hours. We were essentially cut off in Plymouth from the outside world. So it was interesting. Fortunately, I always keep a large supply of food and water in, just in case pipes burst as well. But I mean, luckily, I happen to like bottled water anyway, and it's cheaper than tap water. Well, you can get it cheaper than tap water. So we were fine food and drink wise. There was one day after the blizzard, or after the snow, or the day after that, I think, we ventured out. My wife came with me. We went to go to the shop to see if there was any supplies left. I know we weren't getting supplies in from outside, which was problematic because everybody goes crazy. They go around, and we got there. I'll talk about the journey there in a minute, but we got there and there was not much left because people were going stupid, buying up all the milk that was left. Well, that was gone by the time we got there. Although I did see on another adventure somebody going around a superstore with loads of milk, and I'm thinking, you don't need all that milk, and that's just crazy. And you can see, quite frankly, why food was rationed during the war. It stopped all that business, people going around buying all the bread and eggs and milk. We just needed 4 pints of milk. That was all we needed. We didn't need that. We could survive without it. But the problems we experienced was getting up and back to the shop, because everywhere was like an ice rink. We just don't have that type of footwear, like spiky boots or anything like that. I've got walking boots, and they were quite good, but it's still quite hairy on the slippery pavements and or sidewalks, whatever you call them. But you're in England, so you call them pavements. I was just saying sidewalks for my American friends. So, but yeah, it was quite hairy. We had to walk in the road to get there and back because when there was no traffic, it was all stopped. But now looking around, if you used to look around Plymouth now, you would never know it had even snowed, apart from the potholes are worse, which they always are after snow and freezing. And they were pretty bad to begin with, but yeah, that's how it affected us. Anyway, thank you for your question. Right, on to the comments from last week, starting with Mr. Iddickbeer 40k, who says, nice vid, Pete, Star Trek for the win. I can't remember what I was talking about with that. As the snow may be coming, tell us about your best / most memorable snowman build. One that comes to mind, when I was a kid, I built a snowman. I don't know how old I was. 11 or 12, I don't know, but maybe 12 years old. And I built a snowman. It snowed so hard, I built a snowman bigger than me. It was taller than me. He looked down on me. Real massive snow ball for his body, and quite a big ball for his head, on top, the old carrot nose, stick arms, and a scarf. Took a picture of him. He lasted quite a while, as I recall. In fact, if memory serves correctly, my mum up in Honiton, she's probably still got in her photo collection some photos of him. I was that proud of him. I took photos of him. Yeah, he gave him buttons, everything. He really was a cool snowman. I recall that with fond memories. Took him ages to melt. Rage Against the Dice is next. So it's a great video, and I second Star Trek for the win. What was I talking about? Star Trek for the win. Well, I'm okay anyway. Star Trek's cool. Right, now I have a comment from, I think it's from Black Country Wargamer. I say that because click on it. The question, it has no name to it. Because Black Country Wargamer has taken its channel down for whatever reason. But I think it was from Black Country Wargamer. Says, with Toys R Us now in administration, like many high street stores, do you fear for high street wargaming stores in the future, especially as many already just use internet shopping in our niche? And if the wargame shops were to shut, do you think it would affect the younger generation getting into the hobby? I don't fear for the high street wargaming stores closing any more than I do any other store closing, because that's the climate we are in. And if the wargame shops were to shut down, do I think it would have would affect the younger generation getting into the hobby? Not really, I don't think. Maybe a little bit, but not so much. As long as you've got wargaming clubs, I don't think you'll have a worry there, because even younger generation are more techno savvy than us olds anyway, and if they want to get stuff, they will get it. If they have a hobby, they'll find a way to get this done. It'll certainly be easier for them to get their hobby stuff than it was for the likes of me when I was their age, having to look at like mail order stuff and a really one sentence crappy description of a model, say, and I think they would be fine. I just think it'd be fine. But I do think clubs play an important part in keeping the younger generation amused. Let's not forget the younger generation quickly transpires into the older adult generation anyway. So yeah, I think as a community, we have children ourselves, and we indoctrinate our kids into, at least show them, look, this is what I like doing. They see that you like painting or gaming or whatever, or both, and they, in a lot of cases, they follow suit. So yeah, I think it'll be fine. I don't think it'll have a great impact on the younger generation getting into the hobby. That's just my opinion, of course. And there you go. Right, Cruonus Basilicus is next. Says, great PQ, Marvel or DC? And what are your reasons for your choice? It'll be DC now, because Marvel, I think, is getting a bit. Whilst I enjoy the Marvel TV series for the most part, don't like them all. I'll just talk about that first. I enjoyed Daredevil so much. That was really cool. Can't wait for the next season to come out. Was it season 3? Jessica Jones, I didn't like at all. I thought it was boring. It was a bit meh, I haven't watched Luke Cage yet, although I didn't like the Luke Cage character in Jessica Jones. I thought he was a bit of a dullard as well, to be honest. I like Iron Fist. I know it's got a lot of flack, and I don't see the reason why. It's a television series. It's fantasy. A lot of people, it seems to me people are unhappy when they stay true to the comics, and they're unhappy when they veer off from the comics. So, I'm enjoying Iron Fist. I like it. Okay, he's not like Bruce Lee or anything, but it's a TV program, for goodness sake, and I enjoy it. But I prefer DC overall, because, like in the films, Disney are really trashing Marvel now. I think the Thor Ragnarok was an abysmal movie for me. Where they're giving it crappy humour now. It's just, I don't find funny. I think it's a waste of time. I think they're making a mockery of the characters that I grew up knowing and loving. I just think, they made Thor ridiculous. They made him a buffoon. So I didn't enjoy it. I just didn't enjoy it. I say DC, I know it's grittier, it's darker for me. I just prefer it. I prefer DC. They're more, I don't know, there's something about them more a bit untouched. I think it's the hand of Disney, to be honest, which is putting a cloud over Marvel. But yeah. So I'm going to say DC, Mike, and that's my choice, DC. Right, William Kuby says, sounds good to me, as post we'll see. Okay. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, but or what you're referring to there. Again, I have a bad memory, so I'm not going to remember stuff. Jamjar34 says, nice video, sir. What's your favourite faction in Antares? It's the Gar, closely followed by the Boromites. and that's down to aesthetics. I think they look the coolest. I like the kind of rocky appearance of the Boramites, and I like the Gar because they're, I don't know, a bit like Tau in many ways with their suits and equipment. So I'll say the Gar first, followed by the Boramites. And the last question comes from Alex Attempts Tabletop, who says, "Nice video, man. You've probably been asked this loads of times, but what got you into wargaming?" Smiley face. What got me into wargaming? The short story. What got me into wargaming was being diagnosed with MS, consequently being medically retired, consequently having too much time on my hands, and going into Games Workshop because I was writing a book, wanted to make a model of a scene, and the rest, as they say, is history, because I came out of there with all the stuff and a load of enthusiasm and a need and drive to go and paint and learn more about the game I'd just played, and watch a load of YouTube channels on said subject. That's the short version. Yes, I've been asked it before, and as with any question, I do not mind answering it again, because I always get new watchers on the channel, so it could be someone's just found my channel and are curious as well. But that is the short story. I got diagnosed with having MS, and then I got retired against my will. Then I had loads of free time on my hands, and I wanted to fill that by writing, so I began writing a book. I got to a place where I needed to build a model of a scene to envisage it better. Went into Games Workshop, said, "Do you have any trees?" Because I was trying to build a forest. He showed me the Citadel trees, and I was like, "Oh yeah." I bought them anyway, and there was no one in the shop. And he said, "Do you want to play a game? Like, do you want to play?" And I was like, "Do you know what? Why not? I'll have a go." And I loved it. And like I said, the rest is history. Here we are. Anyway, that's all I have for this week. So keep those questions rolling in. Yeah. Remember, all brushes lead to war. And I'll see you guys on the next video. And bye for now.